Hi, this is Conrad Zimmerman of FistShark Marketing. If you're into our show, we hope you'll consider supporting us with a small monthly contribution through Patreon. For less than the price of a free-range virgin sacrifice to Nurgleth the Ravenous, you can help us to continue whispering unintelligible nonsense into your ears. Just visit patreon.com/FistShark or click the big Patreon button at fistshark.com for more details. And thanks for listening.
Quite a crowd outside the Toys R Us.
No, I'm really impressed. I haven't seen this many people come out to a store product launch in years.
Yeah. Normally there's a lot more purchasing of the product at a store product launch. There's not a lot of business being done at the Toys R Us, but there's a lot of traffic.
Really?
There's a lot of engagement. And if I put those words down on a report, that'll look good. A lot of foot traffic, PR, attention, engagement, audience reaction, profit, maybe? We don't know. Yet to be determined. TBD.
Buzz.
That's another word that looks good when I put that down in the report, which I will.
We can say there was a lot of energy. We can say a lot of enthusiasm.
The atmosphere is electric. That much is true.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So even if it's not selling great, we can at least say we've done our job. We got it attention.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be focusing on the scale of the attention as opposed to the nature of the attention, which, let us be perfectly frank, has been completely negative. Yeah.
Which, I mean, so odd because there was it seemed, support initially behind this. I mean, that was the whole point of running that online poll, right?
It's launched by popular demand. That's what we keep telling people. It's what the manager at the Toys R Us keeps telling people. This was a product the people wanted. I didn't know the product existed.
Yeah, it was new on me.
It was a write-in that a lot of people wanted to see teddy bears covered and indeed full of cum.
Wouldn't have been something I'd have thought of.
No. We put down several different Barbie lines, Action Man lines, some new cartoon properties that we think might sell well as toys. We've got Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, they're kind of shopping around what their next hit could be. We had a lot of that, and we did what we do with a lot of our polls. We took them to very spirited corners of the internet where polls typically get a lot of traffic from. And we got a groundswell of support from those online communities. And a lot of them decided en masse, which to me proved it was a real product, because why would so many people write Cummy Bears if Cummy Bears wasn't a real thing? How did that many people from two completely different online communities independently come up with Cummy Bears and put that as a write-in vote?
No, I mean, it just stands to reason that it has to have been a genuine, actual product that people desire. Because you don't just get that sort of thing coming from multiple locations out of nowhere.
No.
Right?
Well, the way these bears are made, there is a lot of coming from multiple locations out of nowhere.
Right, but I wasn't talking production process. I meant, word of mouth.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you there. I mean, the fact that we did have to make and subsequently package the bears ourselves was lightly concerning.
It was a little surprising.
They were a lot of fun to make.
Sure, yeah. Although everyone really, really drained by the experience. Like, it was a lot of work.
Well, we had everybody chip in.
Well, and I'm proud of everybody's participation. I really am. Like, we came together as a company, because we weren't expecting this, right? It came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, here we have this overwhelming, undeniable demand for plush bears with semen coating them.
But our colleagues stepped up to the plate. They did it with resolve, they did it with grit. And like I always say, I like my co-workers with a lot of spermatozoa.
No, and boy, there seems to be no limit to some people in the office. Especially those mailroom guys. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Well, it seemed like a bit of a busman's holiday for them.
Right?
They were quite bored by the idea, but they produced.
They did. I mean, even Edgar, which, I mean...
Well, I mean, I never saw Edgar actually masturbate. He came with vials and tubes.
Right, yeah. No, but he was prepared, is what I'm saying. Like, he at least contributed and gave of himself to the company effort. Which...
Yeah. The bears he had a hand in making were not fit for sale.
Oh, no.
They got just... kind of this black oil started to ooze from them after a while. We've taken to calling it the corruption. We can't put them with the other bears. They're locked now in a special room with 2 padlocks on it. It's the knights that are the worst, you know.
If the gummy bears actually start selling and take off and become collector's items, you know, maybe it's a special edition, a limited collector's item.
Yeah. I mean, if there's someone you hate, it'd be a good gift.
Yeah?
Yeah. They invoke terrors. But enough about them. Let's talk about the actual product on the shelf. Now, Toys R Us, I respect their decision on this. Their statement is simply, we're a storefront. We don't monitor the products we sell, and we don't have to.
Well, and that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of free market pundits are completely on board with that. If Toys R Us wants to sell a shelf full of teddy bears that have been cummed in and on, that's their prerogative. And they're right as a business to do so. Yeah, it smells in there. Not just that aisle, but now it's kind of creeped into most of the store. It kind of lingers, especially on other plush figures where I guess they just absorb the smells of the room a lot. Mm-hmm. They're at the stages, and I guess maybe it was our fault for making the bears so far before launch, just so far ahead of time. But they are now at the stage where they're very crusty. They have to get water spray bottles and kind of we call it dampen them down. They just got to dampen them down.
Maybe they just need like a mister system like you'd find at the grocery store for the produce.
That's a good idea.
I mean, we could build a display for Toys R Us if that's what it's going to take to get these things to sell.
Yeah. I mean, I want to get these gummy bears in a lot of hands, because for me, this isn't just another job. It was at first, but now I feel almost like this is a passion for me.
Well, when you see the passion and the energy that came from the people who wanted this product on the shelves, I mean, it's infectious.
Yes. This is a story of belief more than anything else, and I'm glad that Toys R Us have been, well, not supportive, but they've not stood in the way. They've been very business minded about this. They do smell.
Yeah.
They're kind of at the sickly sweet stage of it now. Kind of like moldy honey, bad fruit.
Still, I mean, crazy trying to even get in there. There's just so many people.
You can't get into well, I mean, you can. You have to fight.
Right.
A lot of them are holding signs. Something about children. I don't know why they keep talking about children in relation to this shop. I'm not a child. I'm in there every week.
And that makes sense to me.
If anything, this, you know, I guess we'll call them what they are for now. These protests have been very beneficial to me, because I can go in there now and it's my pick of the Shopkins and get as many of those as I want. I don't even know what they are. I think they were popular at Christmas. I don't know if they're still popular now.
But now they're all there for you because the store is largely empty.
I bought them.
Yeah.
I got an Elsa from Frozen doll as well. I don't know if it was the right one, but I'll put that on eBay. The Barbies were for me.
I don't see what they're upset about anyway. It doesn't make any sense to me. Here we have a store with a product that people want. Like, we know they want it. We have the evidence. We have the numbers. We've seen the numbers. It's very clear the demand for this is overwhelming. Because Gummy Bears was voted on like a ratio of 10-1 to any of the other stuff on that list, right? And Barbie's a huge brand. Everybody knows and loves Barbie. So for Gummy Bears to beat out Barbie in a fair voting system and a democratic process, obviously, we have to go with Gummy Bears. And we have to, I think what we need to do is get these people to accept that gummy bears are the new normal. Like, it's the new hot gift, and everybody's going to get on board with it eventually. You might as well get on board now.
Either that or we just go with what the second choice was.
Oh, what was the second choice?
A jar of old cold piss.
I passed Tim Olyphant in the hall on the way in.
Oh, right, yeah. He's in today.
Yeah, he's not just in. I mean, he's like taking up the whole hallway.
Yes. He's a bit inconvenient today. I've kind of just let him get on with it. He was blessing fruit or something when I walked past. What was he doing when you walked past?
He was waving around a censer full of incense.
Oh, what?
I don't understand. Is he like sanctifying the building?
Are you joking? I saw the censer. I saw it. It was on the floor in the corridor. It looked like it had just been discarded and kicked to the side by him. And I looked at it because you know me, I love to see incense fly. So I was like, are you using that at all? And he just looked at me and blankly said no, and then went back to whatever he was doing with the fruits. Liar!
That's not what I expect of Timothy Olyphant.
No, you normally expect him to do acting.
Right. And I mean, especially in this new sort of thing that he seems to be doing, just like dishonesty doesn't seem like the act of a man of faith.
No. When I passed him this morning, he looked incredibly pious. Speaking of which, does he still have the headdress on?
Oh, no, that's what I mean by him taking up the hallway.
Oh, yeah. It's quite ornate.
It's enormous, is what it is. You could probably make another Tim out of the contents of the headdress.
Yeah. Well, at least he's indoors now, and he's using the walls of the corridor to kind of keep it propped up. I mean, that's a step up. Because when he had it on outside, he had Billy Bob Thornton with a little stick keeping it sort of propped up on his head.
I can't imagine any other way to do it. I mean, the weight of that thing must be tremendous.
He's going to give himself neck problems.
Well, keeping it balanced? Forget about it. No, if he's gonna keep doing this, he's gonna need a whole coterie of people following him around and attending to his needs and help just to keep the headdress on. You'd think he could find something that was a little more, I don't know, subdued for everyday use.
Something a bit more practical, at least. It's not a pragmatic look.
Right.
It doesn't help that the robe he's got on, extends, I want to say, at least 200 yards behind him.
Oh, at least. I
had to climb over some of that to get into the break room this morning.
No, I watched Tom Brady execute a pass on it last week.
Unbelievable. I know for a fact Dean Cain tries to sleep under it. You know, when the weather's bad.
Well, it's bigger than his place by far. You could have a whole bunch of people just hiding underneath that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it counts more as a place than where Dean Cain is now. Because it's not made out of mostly nails and flesh.
I'm just concerned about Tim getting it caught on something.
You know what concerns me more than anything else? Is what do you think came first? Do you think he had the headdress first and then decided to do this with it? Or he came up with the name Timothy Olyphant first and then bought the headdress?
I really don't know which is a more horrifying proposition.
It's a chicken-egg situation.
I mean, it's not particularly clever, right? Like, Olyphant, Hierophant, it's right there.
Not really. It sounds like something someone came up with at the last minute and then decided they were committed to doing for some reason without really thinking it through.
Right, it does. So you'd want to think that he got the headdress first and then committed to Hierophant.
Yeah.
Like, he saw it and that inspired it. Not just that, his name sounds a little bit like this. Hey, I'm going to run out and get a headdress.
Yeah, that's my lifestyle now.
It smacks of desperation.
Yeah, that worries me. That's why I'm hoping that's not the case. Because I don't care if he's found God or gods or I don't know what it is he's into, the sun. I don't know how it works. To be honest, questions of religion terrify me, so I don't ask them. But whatever it is he's doing, whether it's to Ra or whatever, I just want to make sure it's being done for the right reasons. I.e., any reason that isn't embarrassing and makes him look like a bad client. He's got to look successful. This has to be the next phase for Timothy, not a step back.
Right.
If it turns out he thought Timothy Hierophant was a clever name, and he's doing this off that can't get out. Headdress he got first. That's the story we stick to, no matter who asks. Wall Street Journal, New York Times.
Yeah, and anything else we have to deride as an outright fabrication.
Den of Geek.
Well, okay, so if we're going to take this seriously, he's going to need a whole infrastructure surrounding him.
That's true.
I mean, we got to turn it into a real thing. We can't just, throw him into an existing religion, because we have to be assured that they'll take him. We can't have Tim going to the Catholics and having the Catholics say, no thanks, we got enough hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So really we need to structure a religion around Timothy. I mean, he's got Billy Bob on side already with the stick business. I mean,
you'll never get a better evangelist.
Yeah. Billy Bob Crown of Thornston?
Crown of Thornton.
Yeah, I mean, it's less clever than Hierophant, but then he's not as highly ranked.
That's true.
One thing I've got to stress is that Billy Bob Thornton was involved in this whole situation before I said Billy Bob Crown of Thornston.
Right, yeah.
Which you then improved with Billy Bob Crown of Thornton. I don't want people to think that I got Billy Bob Thornton involved in this frankly bizarre and hard to believe scenario, thinking the payoff would be me saying Crown of Thornton.
No.
I want to address that came almost seconds before I said it.
That's important, because the origin stories of these things can completely ruin the reality if it ever comes out. And it's a very carefully crafted reality that we're going to have to put together to support this.
Yes.
Because it's just mighty strange.
Benediction Cumberbatch, can we get him involved? So do we think a full product recall is going to be necessary here? That's the question I've got.
I mean, it's not doing what we said it was going to do.
Yeah.
And people are upset by that.
They are upset by that, yes. There are some people who also are a bit upset by the idea that we would recall and subsequently destroy the product, because it is very effective at doing something else. But that's not what it says on the label. And we're more into the idea of selling labels than products. I know that's certainly where my joy comes from.
No, it's absolutely. It's a big part of my life. I get a great sense of gratification every time we can put out a label that sells.
Yeah, and I've issued a press release trying to explain this. I've apologized first and foremost for misleading the public, because, these are diet pills that are not helping people lose weight. If anything, they're actually helping some people gain it.
Yeah.
Which has been good for them, but let's not talk about the side effects. Let's talk about the product being defective.
Right.
I've already blamed Craig, and I'm not walking that back, and I'm certainly not letting Craig have any credit, which is why recall and destroy. Repeal, do not replace.
Yeah, no, it's any potential benefit that could come from the continued distribution of this drug is going to be completely and utterly wiped out by the negative impact the shame and embarrassment of having put this out is going to have on us.
Yes.
So really the best thing we could possibly do is bury it. Just wipe out any and all product existing on the market, recall it all, get it all back, destroy the formula. We may have to gas another research team just to keep it from getting out.
Yeah, I've already put in an order for gas.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a sound plan.
Product recollection team as well. Break into pharmacies, steal all the diet pills. including other people's diet pills.
Well, we wouldn't want to take any chances.
No, just grabbing them in armfuls and dumping them in the river, where they will naturally biodegrade or change the fish, one or the other.
Either way,
It's always a gamble when we dump things in the river.
either nothing happens or you get some svelte fish. Where's the crime?
Where's the
Right?
crime? Where's the... well, not svelte fish, because these diet pills don't work. But the fish will not have throat, stomach, or lung cancer.
That's true. Very, very effective at cancers.
Very good for the fish.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the problem some people are having with us recalling the product, isn't it? That this pill does almost instantaneously cure throat, stomach, and lung cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, and in a single dose, too. And that's, I mean, I would be okay with it, if it helped with the symptoms of cancer, right?
Yeah.
But to cure it? Like, we had decades and decades of potential profits that could be wrung out of cancer. And then to cure it so easily? We can't have that.
Yeah, and I also think people really, and I think this speaks very lowly of their ethics here, is that they're not really focusing on the fact that these are being sold as diet pills and they're not helping anybody lose weight.
No.
I think that's sad. I think that's a shame that people, just because it cures a little bit of cancer, are willing to overlook such horribly marketed product. And that's me saying it, and I marketed this.
Right.
I'm ashamed of my words and deeds. So much so.
You mean Craig's words and deeds.
So ashamed of that, boy.
As well we should be. Like, perpetually. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to look him in the eye when I'm stabbing him in the thighs again.
I've saved a little bit of the gas for him, because you know what that shit does at just a half dose. Like, he's going to be spasming for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no less than he deserves for marketing a diet pill that, if anything, people are getting fatter off of.
It's cruel and it's unusual, I guess, is
yeah,
the big issue for me. I mean...
What, allowing Craig to be employed?
Well, I mean, I was thinking about the customers who were buying these diet pills.
Oh, no. I mean, it's a real concern. I mean, we've got a lot of these large customers who are just wanting to lose some weight without changing their lifestyle so that once they're off the pills, they'll need the pills again.
Well, Debbie, that's the model, right?
It was a good model until, everything went wrong.
And it has. It's just gone so wrong.
So wrong. So many people without cancer. It's not a good look for us.
No. I mean, we still have prostate. We still have liver.
Yeah, but...
We still have thyroid.
I want a complete set.
Lung was a big one, is the thing. I mean...
It was in my top 5 cancers.
Because what was so beautiful about lung cancer is that it's, of the cancers, it's the one that's most, marketing friendly, right?
That's true. People don't mind you exploiting it because they assume everybody did it to themselves with cigarettes.
Right. And so, if you have these mesothelioma cases or other lung issues, they all get bundled up into that smoking paradigm, which, again, brilliant marketing.
And it always contributed to the morale of the office, because the lungs are Dr. Nightscream's favourite organ. He's always finding ways to mess with those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we went too far, I guess, in our quest to find the perfect diet pill.
That's all we wanted to do. We were just two young, attractive jet setters with a dream to come up with the perfect diet pill and treat the symptoms of fat.
FistShark Marketing is Jim Sterling and Conrad Zimmerman. Theme music by Ben Rama. Additional music by Alizar Chand. Our editor is Austin Yorsky. Get more episodes and learn how to support the show at FistShark.com. Follow us on Twitter at FistShark for more of our exploits. Complaints can be forwarded via email to fistsharkmarketing@aol.com. And remember, what goes up must come down, unless it's the stock market. Goodbye.